We are continuing to follow severe storm damage right now at 5:30. The National Weather Service spent part of the day in Henry County surveying the aftermath of yesterday's fast-moving storm and trying to determine just how strong that tornado really was. It was only on the ground for about 5 minutes, but in that short time it tore through homes, sent debris flying hundreds of yards, and left one teenager critically injured.
That's right. 11 Alive's Doug Richards joining us live in Locust Grove. So, Doug, what did the survey's crews find down there?
Well, they certainly found more than enough damage to ratify their analysis of the storm that about the strength, which they quickly described, as you said, as an EF2 tornado.
So I'm going to the back door.
Curtis Bryant says he still can't believe he saw a funnel cloud going past his house and slamming into the home of his neighbor up the street.
Seeing the debris from the house, the wood flying, pieces just swirling.
Inside that house, there was a teenage boy. He was injured from the damage. He's recovering now in a hospital.
Right here behind me, obviously this is the worst of the damage. So the max rating that we get for the tornado is going to be based on what we see here.
Keith Stellman was on site assessing the storm's strength for the National Weather Service, quickly convinced it was an EF2 tornado.
Tornadoes can do some really crazy things, especially once the wind gets in the house.
The storm, Bryant said, was brutally efficient and surprisingly quick.
It was maybe less than a minute or so to see the damage that it had caused, and my immediate thought was I need to call 911.
Bryant and other neighbors immediately fanned out afterwards, looking in the debris and finding a semi-conscious teenager who was immediately then taken to the hospital. The result of a storm that meteorologists said this afternoon with winds that reached up to 137 miles an hour.
And we heard from his dad not long ago, really hoping that he makes a full recovery here. Doug, one question for you. What data does the Weather Service use to measure that tornado wind speed?
Well, one of the things that they do is they look at how the trees snap, and they have collected data that gauges what it takes wind-wise to snap the branches of certain sizes off of trees, and that at least is part of the data that they use.
All right, Doug Richards live for us. Thank you so much.